What you're hearing in the background is ABC 7 regarding UCLA and the protest between Palestinians and the Israeli students going after each other. Barriers being broken down. Westwood is going insane. I just got up this morning. It's May 1st, 2024, 12:26 in the morning, West Coast time. I'm going to mute it for right now. They're going to be talking about this and recording each other's reactions, what's going on, as the visual plays out on the internet. Live streaming it on several stations. At least I know one of them right now. ABC 7 Los Angeles is trying to live stream it, but I'm getting some intermittent signals on it. I had already seen Columbia in New York react heavily. They had at least 200 or 300 estimated, or more than that, of law enforcement coming in, emergency services unit coming in to make the arrests. Their hall out there over on campus was liberated, and the press is being moved out of the area while law enforcement was making operations. They had several days to come up with a solution, especially a couple of days ago. Within the past couple of days, when there was one of the buildings in Columbia University invaded and infiltrated and then desecrated. The same thing's happening down here in UCLA, Royce Hall. And right now there has been people trying to put smoke out and tear gas and trying to keep things reacting, calming down. But the problem is UCLA had allowed this thing to happen for several days and never thought of getting the LAPD in there or sheriff's department to get rid of it. They wanted them to protest, have their thing, but UCLA had enough and said, "Okay, guys, you're going to get out of here." But we didn't see it. We didn't see law enforcement coming in. And since they did vandalism all over the damn place, every one of them is going to be arrested if they can. Barriers are being torn apart, tents being torn apart by the protesters coming into the camp. We're still trying to put up their barriers, but the barriers are being torn apart. And yes, there's a lot of negative reaction happening on the live chats on YouTube because of this. It's freaking them out everywhere. The security has no idea what to do or how to deal with this. But they were able to deal and mistreat a guy who was having a cane, not even a student, trying to get through this mess, trying to get to meet where he's got to meet. He said he was alumni. He's not a current student, which means he was a graduate a long time ago. If that alumni would allow him to get through there, but apparently not. So not the sheriff's department, but campus security pushed him down. So his cane was a weapon. They had him on camera. They posted the videos already on YouTube on this one. And it really upset me a great deal. I mean, it seriously pissed me off on this one. I'm like, you guys could pick on a damn guy. You dance around like you're kids. And he's enraged. He's got bad knees and he's enraged. He's got pain and he can't understand what the hell's going on. And nobody will talk to him. Not even the so-called administrator over there. who keeps thinking like he's Lord of the Land over there and didn't want to talk to anybody, not even the press. So now UCLA and the Regents are going to have to figure this shit out. Either they get PD in there, and it's going to take PD some time to organize this unless they've already got an organization going on, and set up shop and get in there. Because right now, UCLA is lost. UCLA is lost right now because this is spilling all over the place. The camera shots are showing this. Well, it was supposed to be sectionalized. Now it's spreading out all over the place. But it's still in one area of right by Royce Hall. Funny thing is, I'm going to be talking to somebody about my feelings about how things are being affected here. Skipped a doctor's appointment, rescheduled the damn thing, and now my feet are killing me. Both of them. Neuropathy is kicking in hard. And seeing this happen, the barrier is being broken down, and the protesters are going after each other. Some are trying to get the barriers put up so they can still have some kind of protection. But cardboard and metal barriers are not doing anything. We got agitators. We got agitators in the mix going through this damn thing. So it's just a nightmare. It's a nightmare on this one. I don't even have to see the damn conversations. I know the conversation's going, yeah. And they're beating up on each other left and right. EMS is going to have a hard time trying to get in there. They have lost it. The regions are probably already awakened already and seeing this damn shit going on. Flags are being waved, a way of edging people on. There's spotlights over the place, flashlights, umbrellas taken down, tents torn apart, tear gas thrown out again. Even the commercial shit that they sell is being tossed out to disperse them. It's just only pissing them off. And then there's my dog waking up. Mama! I'm over here, baby. I'm over here, honey. Come here, honey. Come here, honey. I'm glad you're not seeing this damn shit. Because right now, that's all I'm seeing is insanity going on. They were afraid of the same thing happening over at USC. But at least they had security out there and they were all also isolated. By UCLA, they lost it. The regents that control their areas have lost this damn thing. I'm going to turn on the news, the volume on this one. ABC 7. Mark Brown.
Somebody kicking the plywood, bear spray or pepper spray sprayed back, and then they fall over there. You can see that wall of plywood is now kind of evaporating, and there's really just not going to be much left between either side except for those metal barricades, and sooner or later they're going to be gone too.
Oh, wow. If you're just joining us on our live stream on abc7.com, I'm Mark Brown along with Chris Christie. We are watching what has has been a slowly growing and developing situation involving violence on the campus of UCLA, centering around an encampment which has sprung up of people who are calling for the UCLA administration to divest from Israel and call for an end to the war between Israel and Hamas. That encampment has grown on the campus of UCLA. There have been issues with access to buildings.
Whoa,
There have been issues with taunts and anti-Semitic and anti-Muslim graffiti and/or statements being made, and sides antagonizing each other over the period of the last few days as that encampment has grown. And what we have seen since then is violence. Now you're seeing what looks like pepper spray or bear spray. You're right, it's yellow. It's not like fire extinguisher stuff, is it, Chris?
No, it's either pepper spray or bear spray. Somebody can tell me which one's yellow. I think both might be. But in any event, somebody just took it seemed like a couple of good squirts right to the face, and a lot. By the way, we're talking about dozens of people who have brought this spray. It's not just one or two people. There are a lot of people with cans of spray in their hands, and also you noticed that there was some more pallets being thrown over that barricade as well. So you can see some more metal barricades being used. The plywood is being put back up, but occasionally you'll see somebody try and either pull it down or kick it down. It just is escalating by the second here. Nothing about this indicates things are going to simmer down here, at least anytime soon.
I'll take care of
Really astounding to watch. Again, we did see about an hour ago, I guess, a column, maybe about 45 minutes ago, a column of some vehicles from the UCLA campus police, UC police, that made their way onto the campus with lights, with their blue lights on, but they're not anywhere near this. They are not in evidence in any way right near this. The LAPD, we are told, has been monitoring and is prepared in their words, but they are fairly oblique with what they told our assignment desk. They did say they are not part of the initial response. They are not on station. They are not on campus at UCLA. But there is an LA police station, as you know, Chris Christie, not far from here, and that their officers, we presume, that are prepared or able to respond if called upon. We don't know if that call has gone out. There's no word about a tactical alert, for example, of the LA Police Department, which would require that all officers remain on duty and that nobody goes home. That's what's typically done in cases like this where you have unrest on the street. We haven't heard about anything like that. And so what's left is an ungovernable situation where people are attacking each other with impunity.
That's right.
So
and instead of people breaking it up, they're just attacking. They're instigating even more. Nobody here is trying to break any of this up. Not even, forget law enforcement. There's basically none. There's a group of security guards with khakis on the top part of your screen. They are standing by, well away from the confrontation, just watching it play out. And beyond that, there's nobody else here.
Those guys can't do anything. We can't blame them for being up there.
Of course not.
Certainly not nearly enough of them to do what.
That's exactly right. Of course not. Yeah, absolutely. What we are seeing, though, is that plywood wall quickly disintegrating. One by one, they're taking more of that plywood and bringing it over to the counter-protester side. So pretty soon, there's not going to be much of a shield left for the protesters on the right, who are just continuing to push forward there on the front lawn. So we're continuing to see, fist fight after fist fight. Pretty continuous now for the better part of the last 15 minutes. But whatever defense they had, which is really, I hate to call it defense because they're also using it as a weapon at the same time. But whatever shielding that plywood and those barricades are providing now, it's becoming less and less of a wall.
It really is. It looks like, is it being pushed back toward the tents now? It looks like it.
Yep.
They pushed back a little bit. They push back a little bit towards the tents. So they push back towards the original line. But they come and go. Every time the protesters from the left side approach, they push back. The barricades move, and in this case, they've retreated again. So a little bit of a lull finally for the first time in the last 10 minutes. So you don't see anybody in that gap there. No sign of confrontation at the moment. A little lull, which again has been pretty consistent throughout the evening. Where you get these cycles of violence and then a lull in the action. People regroup, they retreat, they regroup, and then they come back again. They try and take some more plywood, they try and tear down some umbrellas, they come back with more spray, and the cycle continues.
The last update we had from the LAPD, which was about 32 minutes ago, was that the LAPD's West LA division says they were in discussions with UCLA campus police to determine if they would be needed on scene. That was that word coming from our assignment desk, having spoken with someone from the Los Angeles Police Department in a position to speak to that issue. So, as far as we know,
where is that call?
Yeah,
where is the call?
We don't know if that call has been made. We don't know if someone has gotten on the phone with LAPD and said, "Hey, please come out," or if that call has been made at all. We do know that what's happening here is that people are being beaten, people are being kicked. Violence is taking place. People are being sprayed with pepper spray, bear spray, fire extinguishers. Objects are being thrown back and forth. People are being hit, and people are being hurt. All of this unfolding on the campus of UCLA, and surrounding this encampment, and what appears to be a group of people who have decided to take it upon themselves to remove it. That seems to be the mission of the people on the other side of this barrier.
And no black and whites or red light, red blues in here.
There's also a little bit of a triage center, not center, but a triage area where somebody, at least a couple people, were being treated by maybe some medics who might be in this crowd. You can see somebody being tended to right there, as a matter of fact, is one of the people that we saw here. This is on the opposite side of the first half of tents, kind of a couple hundred, about 100 yards away from the front of that plywood wall. You can see more folks milling about here. Again, this is all in front of Royce Hall. If we pan back over to the right, you can see once again that lawn where most of those pro-Israeli protesters have been all day, and now you see it looks like they're a little more dispersed in the last few minutes.
Yeah, this is an iconic place here at UCLA. I'm not as familiar with the campus of UCLA as I am with USC because I went there. But this, I don't know if they were going to be holding their commencement ceremonies here. I'm not sure where that happens. But just look at all the debris that's left on the ground, all the craziness that is unfolding here in front of us, and what is really unfolding here is just striking. And for now, almost the better, an hour and 43 minutes that we've been here and overhead and reporting as the violence has steadily grown, ebbed and flowed, but always increased as the night has worn on. That no police presence has been here.
Essentially, unless something changes, it just seems like they're basically, hoping for the best, because there's just no indication that there's any attempt, at least in the short term, to change the status quo here. Now, things are, again, at a little bit of a lull. There's a little bit of inactivity at the moment between the two sides. You still see some things being thrown in either direction, but for the most part, things have calmed down temporarily. We'll see if that holds at all, but the trend this evening has been, again, cycles of, calm, followed by more taunting, agitating, and then more violence.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to watch. And I've lost count now the number of people who've been injured enough to have been treated, and we haven't been privy to a lot of it. We've been so busy covering the actual violence that it's hard to tell at this point who's being treated and if anyone has had to be transported. We did see two people earlier on in our coverage who were one person taken to an EMS van, which then left. We don't know if the person left inside the van. This person, who appeared to have gotten some sort of an agent irritant, whether it was pepper spray or something else, that was involved in their situation, and then others who have simply been beaten or kicked or hit. And some of those people that are being dealt with these police instead of casualties at this point, the injuries certainly have to be
side here. It almost appears as though they're stockpiling makeshift weapons on the other side in case things flare up once again. That's what I'm witnessing as they walk around picking up umbrellas, picking up plywood, and picking up more sticks.
Oh man. Well, it would sure be nice to see some police officers there to perhaps get in between these two groups and stop this.
But they don't have them.
To see some cooler heads prevail, but neither one of those things has happened. Tim Pulliam, our reporter, earlier interviewed someone who said they were here for dialogue, but that's not happening
The
either.
dialogue they have is blood.
The big question, I mean, is what happens? Just thinking ahead here. It's hard to think about tomorrow when you're seeing all this, but what happens tomorrow at this campus? I mean, you have to imagine.
In the
We just
morning.
continue to be shocked, but one would imagine that there will be a change in posture, or at least there should be, as Tim mentioned earlier. Is this the last night of this encampment? And what is going to transpire at the break of dawn here when people wake up and make their way back to campus? I just can't even imagine if they continue this posture of hands-off approach without any law enforcement. You know, where do you draw the line? That's the question, right? I mean, I guess it's the $1 million question. But where do they draw the line here? It seems like things are already unacceptable. However, these administrators are very accepting of what we're seeing.
Well, they may be hamstrung by the size of the department. We've just gotten some information about the size of the UCLA Police Department. 65 sworn officers, 41 civilians, 130 students. So 65 sworn officers. If they were all on duty right now, they might have a chance at quelling this. We don't know if that's happening. The LAPD, let's see if there's more information from the LAPD. Yes, from LAPD West LA Division. They have 5 units on campus right now standing by with campus police. They are waiting for UCLA police to form a plan and tell them what to do, and then they will step in for mutual aid. So, campus police wear full uniforms similar to the LAPD. So if you see people in blue in what we presume would be riot gear, that would be the first indication of a police response, and that the LAPD will go in with campus police under the command or direction of campus police. And that is what we would see if that sort of thing were to take place. It hasn't yet. So almost 2 hours into our coverage of this live disturbance, violence on UCLA's campus.
Okay, that's not bad enough. I'll keep talking about it because it's still happening at this point, and there's not enough security personnel to do anything, and yet isolated. There had been probably protests that I probably blanked out of my head by not watching some of the stuff. But this is definitely something I'm going to be remembering what's happening. Middle East, the situation and the conflict out there. Did Hamas figure this shit out that there was going to be worldwide chaos happening? Did they realize that the United States would be tearing itself apart over this damn situation? I know students can get pretty passionate. And what I'm seeing is the passions breaking out left and right. But the problem is, I wouldn't even know how to handle this one or deal with this one. If it happened to my own campus of Antelope Valley College in Lancaster, I don't think they would have known. We don't have dorms on the campus. It's open. There are no dorms. People come in and out. There's no security. Well, there is security, but not much of it out there anyway. Right now, I'm going to turn this thing off. I'm going to turn this thing off. I'm going to start loading this stuff up. And I got to take care of my dog because she's having a conniption fit. That's something else. So.